This one is from Nuke's Top 5, so it is a supernatural paranormal video. This is scary videos you can't unsee.
Late one evening in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Heather Paul is outside on her front porch having some ice cream with her husband and her two sons. But then, Heather suddenly spots something that absolutely creeps her out.
There's like little mosquitoes.
Kind of going on me. What? What did you say? What did you say, Mommy? I can't hear you.
You gotta keep that open so it doesn't get all musty.
Can't tell me. You can't tell me it's not good.
Yeah, you could tell it was a ghost because you can actually see through the entire... It was a very vivid one, but you could actually see through it, so you can tell it's an actual ghost.
Heather whispers, "She scares me," to her husband and children, but they have no idea what she's talking about. Neither her husband or sons can see the bizarre figure dressed in white that is walking down the sidewalk only about 20 feet away. Heather says that the woman looked like, quote, a lady dressed like a nurse from the 1950s with an eerie grin on her face. Heather is now freaked out. She can't understand why no one else saw the strange nurse. So she checks the footage from their front door security camera, and sure enough, the recording also shows a creepy pale figure walking right by.
It just immediately creeped me out, so I just kind of like jumped.
But it gets even weirder, because you see, Heather lives only a mile away from a notorious old abandoned mental asylum, the Philadelphia State Hospital at Byberry.
So a little backstory, I live about a mile from where
Must have been a resident that probably died somewhere in the area.
Byberry State Hospital used to be. This is one of the, I'm pretty sure, the most notorious mental hospital in the country. A lot of abuse went on there. There was lobotomies performed on patients. There was experiments performed on patients. A lot of them lost their lives because they were just treated so horribly. The conditions that that hospital was in was so inhumane, and no human should have ever had to go through what these patients went through. And these people just needed help. It's just very sad. They were so overcrowded. Like the nurse to patient ratio was just extreme.
With 2 student nurses and maybe 3 attendants, we have all we can do to bathe the patients, get them to cafeteria, take them to the doctors, give them their medications, and try to keep the place clean.
Now, when I was a kid growing up, we used to definitely go in there, and it was really scary. Like the second you walk on the grounds, you just feel like it's cold, it's not normal, it feels weird. Like you can tell somebody's watching you. There's underground tunnels underneath, so we used to run around them too, and they used to use those tunnels to transport bodies, and there was still those like metal slab beds that they were still down there when we went in there, like, you know, in the 2000s.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful when you're exploring those type of buildings, especially if they have underground tunnels, because you have no idea if those tunnels are structurally sound, and they could collapse at any time, either killing you in the collapse or trapping you there, and you just end up dying slowly. So, and even the building itself, you can't really tell if it's structurally sound. So you don't know if you're going to fall through the floor, the stairs, or, you know, if you're going to get some sort of disease or something by getting scratched or whatever. You got to be really careful when you go inside these abandoned buildings, because they might have been there for decades, for over 100 years. So, and a lot of these buildings aren't very well taken care of because nobody cares to take care of them. So you got to be really careful when you go inside abandoned buildings, especially big ones like that.
I felt my arm grabbed in there once, and I moved my flashlight because I thought it was my friend, and my friend was like over there, and oh my God.
But this story gets even weirder still. Heather's dad lived in the same house as a boy. When Heather shows her dad the creepy footage, he tells her that a woman named Linda used to live in the house next door. And during the 1950s, Linda was a nurse at the old Byberry Mental Hospital. So did Heather catch the ghost of a nurse from the old abandoned hospital? And if not, why could no one else see the strange woman walking down the sidewalk?
Yeah, that hair bun isn't really doing it for you, girl.
Ho ho, no. Cara Messina lives in an old house in New York State that was built in the 1800s and has a very tragic past. In the early to mid 1800s, the house was part of the Underground Railroad, a network for fugitive slaves seeking freedom. Slaves escaping the South were forced to hide under the house to avoid capture by authorities. Because of its dark history, Cara believes that the house might be haunted, and she says that while her family has lived there, they have had, quote, some ghostly activity through the years. So one day, Cara and her daughter are just relaxing around the house, and they start to hear a very strange sound coming from the basement.
So for the last 20 minutes, I've been sitting on my couch, and it's been dead silent, and all of a sudden I hear Santa. And I thought it was coming from outside, and it's not. And this is my basement.
They have to use a pliers to open the door. Lady, replace the doorknob. What is she holding that they have to blur it?
Summer.
Are they having to blur a pipe? Just because she's holding it like a weapon?
Tell me it's in the same box as Chucky right now.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, is that a sword or something?
Yeah, it's in there.
Right, but it hasn't been touched, and all of a sudden, after all of these months. And it's off.
Cara's daughter flips through a box, which ironically contains 2 old Chucky dolls, only to find that a Santa figurine has suddenly activated itself and is just talking away, even though the power switch is turned off. But there's something even weirder here that video viewers noticed after this clip was uploaded. Because, did you hear it?
Right, but it hasn't been touched, and all of a sudden, after all of these months. And it's off.
Just as the Santa doll is picked up and suddenly stops talking, it can be heard seeming to frantically yell, "No, stop!" So is
It could have also been saying something else that sounded like no stop. But, you know, it's...
Cara's basement haunted? Is the little Santa doll possessed by some wayward spirit? Or is it all just a very odd coincidence? You decide. Daddy Ghost. One morning, a woman named Cheyenne is taking care of her 2-year-old daughter when the little girl says something very strange.
Okay, who is it?
Daddy. Daddy's right there.
Is it your daddy?
No, it's your daddy.
Is where?
Daddy's right there.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, show me.
See?
Oh,
Your daddy's missing you.
my daddy's missing.
Children, especially very young children, like around this one's age, I'd say it's probably younger than like 5 years old. They tend to be very acutely in tuned to the paranormal. It's the same thing with like cats and dogs. They're very acutely attuned to the paranormal, and they tend to like see or feel or hear things that we as adults can't, you know, understand is there. That's why sometimes when you hear kids say that they have like an imaginary friend or something, it might actually be like a spirit or something.
Missing me?
That's your damn.
Let's go get him. Where'd he go?
In you.
Okay, show me.
Her daughter seems to be referring to Cheyenne's dad, which is odd because not only has her daughter never met her granddad, but even Cheyenne herself was only just a toddler when her father passed away. So Cheyenne shows her daughter a picture, and the little girl confirms that it's the man she saw in the hallway of their house.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, it looks like that.
Daddy. Daddy. Daddy.
Yeah. And Mabel, what does your ghost do?
No.
What did you say he gave you?
Hot.
A heart?
Daddy. Daddy.
Uh-huh.
Daddy.
Yeah.
2 days later, and it happens again.
Just see me.
What sees you? The ghost? What are you talking about?
Ramon.
The dryer scared me, and you already freaked me out.
Oh, my own.
Cheyenne says that her daughter still occasionally talks to the entity that the little girl now refers to as, quote, Daddy Ghost. But Cheyenne says that some online comments have scared her a bit.
She calls him Daddy Ghost. She's only had an experience like that 2 or 3 times. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, I try to capture it on video. I also had a lot of comments saying that it wasn't like something nice. It was something mean. That freaked me out, so don't say that again.
More often than not, when it comes to entities like that, they tend to... The most common thing they tend to do, the ones that aren't nice, that are evil, they tend to take the form of children, you know, like little girls or little boys, because we as adults tend to, on instinct, lower our guard around children. That's just, you know, how we're wired. That's what we do. Because our natural instinct is to, you know, see if something's wrong or to take care of the kid. That's just our natural instinct, so we tend to lower our guard. And that's how a lot of these evil entities tend to either attach to us or get to us or anything like that, is because it's one of humans' weakness is children. Sometimes, though, they'll take the form of an adult that we have associated ourselves with, or that we have a relation with or had a relation with, you know, family members or friends. And these are some of the ways that they tend to get to us, because those are the type of people or things that we tend to lower our guard around.
A lot of people were telling me don't communicate with it. I'm not. I'm scared.
Yeah, that is the one thing you don't want to do. Is you can document it if you want, but don't go too far with it. Don't try and communicate with it. Don't try and interact with it, because more often than not, that'll just make it worse. It'll start to escalate. Things will just get more and more horrible. So the best thing to do is just either ignore it, or if it starts to escalate, you can get somebody to come by and exorcise the entity out.
She is, and she doesn't understand. So tell him, Mabel.
So is Cheyenne's daughter seeing the ghost of her granddad stopping by for a visit? What do you think? A grave situation.
Now, don't get me wrong. It could actually be Cheyenne's father that has decided to become more or less the guardian angel of the family. So it's not always going to be an evil entity. It could sometimes just be the spirit of a family member that decides to stick around to protect its family.
A young woman named Britt lives on a large horse ranch in the mountains. She says that lately, things around the ranch have gotten a little strange. Well, actually, they've gotten a lot strange. It all starts one day when Britt's dog Josie just completely freaks out.
So, I'm recording this just in the off chance that no one believes me. Maybe I can catch it.
She sounds terrified.
We have a freaking cemetery in my front yard. I was just inside. I'm by myself with my dog.
Dude, you can tell she sounds absolutely terrified. Like she's about to cry out of fear.
She's up in that room upstairs. You can literally hear her working from here. Josie? Josie?
Just how quiet it gets. That's just like the scene of a horror movie that like something is just about to happen. That's the vibe it gives for how quiet and how still it became. All it's missing is the heartbeat. And you know, the little horror-like music. Ooh.
Yeah, she's just been staring at that, and then she started barking, and she growled. And when she growled, I kind of like booked it. But I don't really know, like, that's usually like her stance while she's waiting for me to come home, and I'm just like, is she waiting for someone to walk out of that closet? Like,
She senses
just
something
don't really
there.
know
She senses that something is there.
what she's staring at. Because again, like, this is usually how she looks when she's waiting for me to come in, and I'm just like, what? What is it? What is it?
The dog starts ferociously barking at the upstairs bedroom closet for absolutely no reason. But little Josie's strange behavior doesn't stop there. As Britt mentioned, she has a private cemetery in front of her house where some of her family members and also several of their deceased pets are all buried together. Recently, the dog Josie has just started staring at the small graveyard.
Josie. Josie, what's going on?
The horses on the ranch often just stare toward the small cemetery as well.
Well, that's not creepy. Seriously, what are you two looking at? What is it?
But now, weirdest of all, Britt says that lately the neighbors' cows have started to wander over to her property, and they also just weirdly stand around the small graveyard.
See, this is what I'm talking about. They literally just come hang out here all the time now.
Dude, that is
It's
creepy.
newer development.
That is so weird. Also, it's weird that your neighbor's animals can just wander into your front yard.
Like, why? They just kind of come and literally graze around this area. And they just kind of will freeze and won't move. So, yeah.
That is odd. Well, like I said earlier before, animals are very acutely in tuned to like supernatural and paranormal stuff. So it's something has to be there. They're sensing something.
What's up?
Britt is confused and a little creeped out by all of the animals' strange behavior. But things are about to take an even more terrifying turn. One night, Britt orders some food from Uber Eats. The driver is a bit disturbed by the gathered cows at the graveyard, but he completes his delivery. And then things just get weird.
I think I'd probably be a little unsettled seeing cows just circling a graveyard in somebody's front yard and be like, this is really weird.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that.
This location is outside, no here.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's okay, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You're a cow?
I scared there's a cow.
They're actually not mine. They're not wasn't showing up.
No, yeah.
No.
Oh.
They come hang out around here every night.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. What would you do if this happened in your house?
Hang on.
Yeah, hang out around here every night.
A cow?
Right here, right
They're
here, right
actually
here.
not mine. They're not wasn't showing up.
You see this thing?
No, yeah.
No.
Oh.
They come hang out around here every night. Yeah.
As soon as the cow moved forward towards it, it climbed over something. Like, what is this thing?
What would you do if this happened in your house?
Hi.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. Every freaking night, like even at night, they even come and hang out here, and they just like stand and like. Are you for real right now?
Oh.
Something sets off the alarm inside Britt's house, and as she carefully walks back inside, some unseen force seems to actually grab and pull her shirt. She drops her food in terror and runs back out. Britt says that she was too afraid to return to the house. She spent the rest of the night in the family RV that was parked outside. Hunter.
I'm surprised they didn't say anything about, let's go back to it. About this shadow that's right here. I'm surprised no one has said anything about the shadow. Actually, I want to see if anyone has said anything. Oh, Freya.
Actually, not mine. They're not wasn't showing up. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's okay, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Oh my god.
Good night. Oh.
They come hang out around here every night.
Nobody's seeing the shadow.
No, yeah.
No.
Oh.
They come hang out around here every night.
I need to put a comment in this. It's like,
No.
Oh.
They come hang out around here every night. Yeah.
Freaking night.
Nick and Ted from the Utah.
okay.
Britt says that she was too afraid to return to the house.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one said anything about that shadow thing. I mean, I'm surprised I picked it up, but yeah, it's like it looked like this weird shadow thing that had like 4 legs or whatever. It was just barely over the fence, and when the cow moved forward, it moved back over the fence like it was trying to get away from the cow that was moving towards it. I'm surprised no one said anything about that.
She spent the rest of the night in the family RV that was parked outside. Hunter or hunted. Nick and Ted from the YouTube channel The Hunting Public are out bow hunting on public lands in the remote wilderness of Missouri. Suddenly they hear something that sends chills down their spines. Now, let me say before I show you these clips, in accordance with YouTube guidelines, no one is shown being hurt in the following video. There's absolutely no evidence that any crime was committed in this video or that anyone was injured in any way. Alright, so, while Nick and Ted are hunting, they hear a gunshot, followed by some insane screaming. They immediately grab their camera and start recording.
I didn't hear a shot, all I heard was screaming.
Now, Nick and Ted are in such a remote area of the Missouri woods that they have no cell service to call the authorities. So, all they can do is listen.
Oh, there was the gunshot.
I keep getting chills all down my back. Yeah. Somebody is screaming at the absolute top of their lungs over there. Very not good obscenities to someone else. I've never witnessed anybody screaming like that. Yeah.
That was a lot of gunshots. That sounded like a full magazine.
Something not good's going on. This ain't somebody else.
That sounds like it's not too far away from them.
Again, Nick tries to call someone to report the incident, but they still can't find a spot in the woods with cell service.
We ain't got any service in here, so can't call the police and tell them to go over there and see what the heck's going on, but sound like something off a dang horror movie over there. I mean, we're just like a guy that's absolutely losing his mind over there.
At this point, Nick and Ted are totally freaked out. They just head back to their truck so that they can get out of there and call the police.
I've heard some stuff that I feel needs to be reported to the police department. Okay. I was hunting, me and a buddy were hunting, and at about 6:45, we heard gunshots, which is not uncommon, but then for 30 minutes straight or so, there was lots of screaming and just people, obscenities, and it sounded like something really bad was going on over there, and there was 20 or more gunshots ended up happening. I have pins dropped on a map about how far we were from where we think this was occurring. We didn't know what to do, and we had no service, so we're trying to report and see if anything had been reported about there.
Days later, Nick and Ted provide an update on what happened after their terrifying encounter in the woods.
So after that hunt, you can see we alerted proper authorities, and the days following that event, I had some contact with the state game warden, and they told me that they found nothing on this situation, and they went in there, and there was nothing to be found.
Even though Nick and Ted reported the disturbing incident and even provided GPS coordinates to local authorities, nothing was found at the site. There's absolutely no evidence that any kind of horrible event ever took place there.
You know, it freaked us out, and
Well, see, at least the thing is, they can't be blamed for making it up because they have actual video evidence of the multiple gunshots and the pretty much half hour they recorded for somebody screaming bloody murder at someone. So they have actual proof that this shit was actually happening, so they can't be blamed for making it up. So I think they did the right thing. It sucks that nothing was found, but you know, they have proof that it actually happened somewhere. So
we really got unsettled by it, and we weren't scared that, you know, someone wasn't coming after us, but we had heard something that it could have been. You know, your mind goes to think about what could that be, and you know, I immediately go to worst case scenario.
So did Nick and Ted just hear someone having a random temper tantrum or a breakdown? Was it just someone freaking out and maybe just shooting guns at a tree stump? Freaking out and maybe just shooting guns at a tree stump.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That was 18 gunshots. And that was like one more before that one. So it was like around, yeah, it was around like 19, 20 gunshots that went off. That's like a full magazine.
Was it something much more disturbing? You decide. For the full-length version of this video, be sure to check out the channel, The Hunting Public. Shadow of a Doubt. Now, I've covered the strange and creepy story of a woman named Rosanna in one of my previous videos. Rosanna lives in France in an apartment that she claims is intensely haunted by some mysterious dark entity. One night while she is home alone, she starts to hear strange sounds coming from her children's playroom. What she catches on camera is truly chilling.
Yeah, because that's not creepy. Oh, shit. Fuck.
Toys in the playroom begin to move on their own, and as Rose...
The dude was a good, like... It looked like he was a good, I'd say, a few inches taller than she was.
Rosanna goes to investigate, she notices something very strange. Did you see it? In the window reflection, the large shadowy figure of a man seems to be standing right behind her. But when she spins around, there's no one there. Rosanna sees the strange shadow behind her again in the reflection, but then the figure just disappears. Rosanna claims that this dark spirit has haunted her apartment for months, but she just can't afford to move out right now. So is Rosanna being haunted by some evil entity? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. A guide to the other side. A young woman named Diana posted a very disturbing video to Instagram. In the video, Diana and her brother are watching as the police arrive at a trailer at the edge of their property. The police are showing up for a wellness check after the sad, lonely man who rents the trailer has not been seen for weeks. It turns out that the man had unfortunately passed away inside the trailer. This is the footage.
I'm right there, right there. Wait, they're going up to Thomas' place. So wait, you said the light wasn't off?
Yeah, exactly. And I knew that something was going on. That's a lot of cops.
Holy shit.
Oh my god, I saw that.
Oh my god, they're calling.
There was a little girl there. Yep, right there.
Calling something in.
The little girl. And now it's gone.
Going back over.
That was twice now.
What was Tom doing?
Is there like an app you can check or something to figure out?
Oh my Jesus.
Will she be there again? Yep, there she is. Again.
Abby's okay.
I think it's a little girl. It's like staring at them. And it's gone. That's 3 times.
Did you see it? The small shadow of a child can be seen lurking outside the trailer, seemingly lost and abandoned. But the police don't even notice, walking right by as if they can't even see the child. And then, suddenly, the small child's shadow just disappears. Watch again.
Well, it appears and disappears like 3 times.
The figure disappears into thin air right in front of the police, but they don't seem to see anyone. Viewers of the video pointed out that there was another odd apparition in this video. Something that looks like the shadowy figure of a man standing in the trailer window. So a few days later, Diana and her father go to check out the trailer, and things get really weird.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Jeez. Oh my god. What was that? Oh, fuck. Jeez.
It's a lot of alcohol.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Wait. Did this guy have a kid? What is this?
Yeah, this kid died too, like, I don't know, before. A long time ago.
So first...
So the kid out by the police car was... My guess is it was probably his kid.
Diana is terrified when a dead crow falls out of one of the cabinets, which seems odd as the man has only been deceased and out of the trailer for a few days. So how did the bird get there? But next, Diana sees a child's paintings on the refrigerator. Her dad tells her that the man had a horrible tragedy where his young daughter passed away many years ago at a very young age. But the man kept her drawings and mourned her for the rest of his life, descending into sorrow and alcoholism.
Oh god, this is just so fucking sad. Oh, that makes me want to cry.
So, is this childlike shadow figure the man's daughter coming back to meet him as he passes to the other side? What do you think?
Oh, that's just sad.
Mirror, mirror. A woman who goes by the online name Pixie Paranormal 1 is a psychic medium and paranormal investigator who has had quite a few strange experiences. Some that could be supernatural.
What is this noise?
A lot of it's probably because you keep messing with a goddamn Ouija board.
This is nice.
And she has also experienced some scary incidents that are just a bit too real.
When the sun goes down.
Got a load of kids running around in here. Can you hear them all?
That's a big ass dog.
That's a girl crying. Can you hear that, guys? Hang on. Turn the lights off for a minute, people. Turn these lights off. Turn these lights off. Hang on a minute, guys. We've got to turn these lights off. Turn the lights off. Turn that light off. Turn it off. I don't mind hunting ghosts, but it's the humans that worry me. Human beings.
Yeah, Here's the thing: when you go paranormal or supernatural hunting, the worst. I've said this in many reactions that I've had to supernatural stuff. The worst thing you can ever run into when it comes to doing these sort of things is not ghosts or anything. It's people. People are the most dangerous thing you'll ever run into because you have no idea if they are out of their fucking mind and they could attack you at any moment. This is the other reason why I always say, if you're going to do this stuff, don't ever go alone. And through whatever means that you want to go alone, make sure people know what you're doing, where you are, and know when they should expect you to be back. And if something happens, if you're past that time, they need to do something, and bring something to arm yourself, whether it be a blunt object, some sort of knife or sword, or a gun. You need to be very, very cautious when doing this stuff, because this stuff, it's not for the faint of heart, and it can be very dangerous and life-threatening.
Freak me out.
But recently, Pixie Paranormal 1 had a very chilling experience right in her own home. She heard cracking sounds coming from her mirror, so she grabbed her phone and began to film. What happens next is truly bizarre.
Go here.
Look at my mirror.
Wait,
My mirror's cracking by itself.
what's happening? Wait, stop.
Harry, my mirror is cracking by itself.
It's cracked twice so far. Why is it cracking by itself?
I've no fucking idea.
There's too many.
He's playing Roblox.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird.
Alright, let's just carry on with it. Right, follow me. It's me.
Stay there, don't go near it.
This way. I know. Mum, I know. There's a naughty mirror. Wait.
Okay.
Why is the mirror cracking?
I don't know.
I know. Maybe the naughty seven.
The woman's mirror begins to break and crack all on its own right before her eyes. Even weirder, what looks like a strange misshapen face seems to appear in the slowly shattering mirror. So did one of the ghosts from Pixie's Paranormal Investigations follow her home? Or just what do you think is happening here?
It is weird.
Scurry videos.
Scurry videos.
And now again, we end this video with clips that might seem a bit spooky at first, but nah. Case in point, some Dutch urbex explorers are checking out an abandoned old building, and they find something absolutely terrifying.
Oh boy, what do they find?
Hij is allemaal... Red! Mijn kakkenmoeder!
Now, honestly, squatters in an abandoned house are much more dangerous than ghosts.
Yeah.
Also, did you notice that this guy's friend has on the same jacket as the squatter guy? Truly bizarre. And next
I think he got frightened by his own friend.
up, a woman is chilled to her core as she wakes up to strange activity. Some unseen force seems to open and close the drawers in her bedroom.
I'm guessing it's a cat or something.
But
fucking cat. I knew it. I think the cat's stuck.
Then it's just her cat stuck inside her wardrobe chest.
Yeah.
Look, there's his little head peeking out. And finally, Pedro sees a very strange shadow of what seems
Cats are diabolical, I swear.
to be a person who is just not there.
Oh, what? Is that a figurine or something? Oh, wait. Wait, is what? What the hell?
Qué creepy.
And then Pedro realizes that he just has weirdly designed chairs.
That's funny.
Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, please, if you want to be awesome. And hopefully, I'll see you back here next time.
The cat stuck in the dresser was pretty funny to me. That was pretty good.